Jackson Radio Show.
You talked about wanting to put extreme vetting on people trying to come into the United States, but I wonder if you would consider extreme vetting for people trying to buy a gun.
Well, you know, you're bringing up a situation that probably shouldn't be discussed too much right now, but it's okay if you feel that that's an appropriate question, even though we're the heart of South Korea. If you did what you're suggesting, there would have been no difference 3 days ago, and you might not have had that very brave person who happened to have a gun or a rifle in his truck go out and shoot him and hit him and neutralize him. And I can only say this, if he didn't have a gun, instead of having 26 dead, he would have had hundreds more dead.
And are you considering any kind of gun control policy going forward?
When you look at the city with the strongest gun laws in our nation is Chicago. Mm-hmm. And Chicago is a disaster. If this man didn't have a gun or a rifle, you'd be talking about a much worse situation in the great state of Texas.
All right, everybody, welcome back. I love that President Trump has no problem chastising these idiot reporters. Really, that's what you want to ask me? I'm in South Korea. You don't have questions about what's going on here? What's going to be our posture with our trading partners? You know, say real questions, things that the people in America want to know, the world want to know. You want to try to politicize a shooting. I mean, I'll tell you this. If the left were to talk about all of the Muslim beheadings and killings in the world that don't involve guns, just involve them chopping off people's heads, mass graves all over the place, how many questions would they ask? You couldn't even hold a press conference. But you have a shooting in Texas, which, by the way, and I love that Donald Trump did not back down. It's like these climate change knuckleheads that were, emboldened under Obama, and suddenly they're like, he won't say anything about climate change. Yeah, because he's not stupid. You finally got a president who says, look, I get that you got your little pet projects and you've been feathering your nest with this stuff, but those days are done. Freaking love it. The gun control nuts. No, those days are done. You're done. Boop, over. So I got to tell you, I'm loving this. President's on to the next location in Asia, and when it's all said and done, I've said this, a couple things. When it's all said and done, you're going to watch the trade deficit go from $500 billion down to $350 billion. It's not going to get wiped out. We're using our trade to manage world affairs, and what Donald Trump is doing is he's going around. When he meets with China, he meets with Xi. He's going to say, okay. Look, I understand you have your interest. You're not going to control any area of the world any more than we control any area of the world. We aren't trying to control areas of the world. But what you're going to do is you're going to deal with our trading partners in an amicable way, or else you're not going to be dealing with us. And I keep coming back to with China, we are on par in terms of relative size of GDP. Problem is we're much more efficient. Now, they would argue, well, you have a lot more chance to sell to us than we do to you because they have, a lot of people that can potentially eat our beef and things like that. Perhaps. But the things that you want to sell, our market is ripe for it. And so the better our economy is, the more availability of money and things for you to have the expendable income. That's what you have to have. The better. Chinese don't have expendable income. The average person doesn't. So that's how it is. And then the second part of it is, how about we grow the world economy? How about we create more middle-class Chinese that want to buy our beef and our coal and have need of our products? How about we create more middle-class people? See, what we've looked at is the pie is a certain size. Donald Trump saying the pie is a certain size, but it can be bigger. And if we help other people do other things, it will be bigger and we can all flourish. But we haven't done that. Anyway, I want to go back to the gun control thing. The church shooter in Texas, the gentleman, the guy who shot the people up, the leftist, atheist, wife-beating, child abuser, dishonorably discharged Oh, yeah. Have I not given you enough clues that this dude is a leftist who went into a church in order to shoot his in-laws because he's got an anger management problem? And the left want to make gun control the issue here. They don't want you to know he's a sick dude. They don't want you to know that Obama's Air Force did not send his records over to say he's a volatile person, likely to kill people, and should not be able to purchase a gun. You know, not that it would have mattered because he probably would have gotten one illegally. But that's who we're dealing with. That's who the left wants to make their poster child for gun control. That's like making Michael Brown your poster child for civil rights. So predictable. And I don't know. I don't get mad at this stuff. I really don't. I find it disgusting because people like us, conservatives, we get up in the morning looking for solutions, and those solutions don't have to have R's and D's behind it. Think about what we did on November the 8th not November the 8th, prior to that, when we selected Donald Trump. Some of you maybe didn't like Donald Trump, but at the end of the day, we chose a non-establishment candidate, and then we got him elected. We didn't do what the left did, who still to this day back a cheater. We didn't do that. Right now, to this day, we fight against the Republicans that supposedly represent us. Ask the average Republican, do you like Mitch McConnell? And they go, no. Ask the average Republican, do you like Paul Ryan? No. We don't see them as effective. We see them as the enemy. Ask the average Democrat. They like Pelosi. They like Chuck Schumer. They like all the people they love Hillary Clinton. They still love Barack Obama. At least they're publicly, that's what they tell you. They don't fight against the system. Even right now, the powers that be are rallying around Hillary Clinton. Now, she's losing. She's losing a lot of power fast. The air is... to say that, you could just go say they let you know how you blow up a balloon and you squeeze it together to hold it in until you can tie the knot? Well, somebody just kind of let it go and it go brrr. Well, that's what's going on. The air is being quickly let out of the balloon, but there are still people that support Hillary Clinton. They're still afraid. Think about that. If Donald Trump had been involved to the degree that Hillary Clinton is in any way, he would not be president. I guarantee you, we would have revolted. Pick any candidate. We wouldn't be rallying around them. And another thing, you can be doggone skippy that Paul Ryan nor Mitch McConnell would be rallying around Trump if there were any hints around Russia that were real and all that. And in fact, people like McCain tried to orchestrate it so that it looked that Donald Trump was guilty of doing something with the Russians. That's how conniving these guys are. So we prove time and time and again is through the Tea Party movement, which, by the way, still remains the most respected group in politics. I don't care what they tell you when they tell you things like, oh, the Tea Party, they got a bad name and this, that, and the other. The Tea Party is the most respected name in politics. Don't you forget it. Why do you think when I purchased Tea Party Community and so we started rebranding and rebuilding it, why do you think I didn't change the name? Because there's no need to. People will know exactly what we stand for, and we will not run from that name, period. So when people, Kevin, I like it, but I'd just like you to change the name. Well, hey, I tell you what, change your name. Yeah, see, it sounds silly, right? You got scoundrels in your family. I don't know you, but I guarantee you got scoundrels. We go back far enough. I'll get you some dirt. Change your name. No. It's your lineage. But here's the thing about the Tea Party. There is no dirt. It's a country founded because we were taxed. Taxed enough already. Tea Party. So they threw the tea in the thing and boom. Now, the country itself, you can go like, oh, Kevin, the country's done a lot of bad things. Yeah, and what country hasn't? So why is it that everybody clamors to get here to this terrible country? To be around all you terrible conservatives? Because you're not a terrible people, and this isn't a terrible country. And I'm not going to let you self-deprecate. Met a young lady, I was on the plane, a cute girl, Jewish girl, young, parent, said lives with her parents and all that. We were talking. She's a big fan of me. and she saw me and was like, oh my gosh, and she called me David Webb and a bunch of other things before she finally figured out who I was. But she is a fan. She knew Fox through and through. And the whole time she just kept saying, oh my gosh, I wish I had on makeup. Like, okay, well, what was that going to do? You know, like, I'm going to judge you. Wish I'd met you when you had on makeup. You know, it was funny to me. But so anyway, she said she wished she had on makeup. And, you know, she said, you know, she just kept talking like, you know, like everything she said was sort of self-doubt. And I go, look, you shouldn't talk that way. You got a lot of qualities. So just give it a break. But you could tell something's beating her down. Maybe she was in college and it was, you know, she felt, I don't know. But I was like, give it a break. You're a good person.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.